Today we're going to be making a bacon fried rice. This is a super delicious, cheap, and easy dish. And it's perfect to make for either breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Not to mention, it's perfect for the weekday. Now typically, the meat that you put into the fried rice is usually a ham, a Chinese sausage, shrimp, chicken, or whatever. But I want to add that extra crunch, something that'll complement the egg that goes with this. That's why I think a bacon works perfectly with this. It kind of gives it that nice breakfast taste. Now the ingredients for this are super simple. You're gonna need some bacon, eggs, garlic, ginger, some spring onions, soy sauce, sesame oil, mirin, and frozen peas. All right, let's cook. Start off by preparing the rice. Now I'll be using a rice cooker, but these steps apply to whatever you're using to cook your rice in, regardless. For this recipe, I'm using 250 grams of white jasmine rice. You want to rinse the starch off the rice for a couple minutes before you start cooking it. This is to avoid your rice to get this gummy texture or basically turn into mash. As you're doing this, you'll notice the water becomes murky. So go ahead and rinse until the water becomes almost completely clear. Now, a good rule of thumb to know how much water you need to cook the rice perfectly is to stick your finger in it and have the water come up to the first joint line. Go ahead and start your rice cooker and wait until the rice has cooked. This should take somewhere between 12 to 15 minutes, depending on how much rice you use. Next, you want to prepare your alliums, which in this case will be spring onions and garlic. In addition to that, you want to have some ginger as well. Go ahead and finely chop your spring onions as such. I'm using 4 since there will be no other allium other than the garlic. This will add a nice sweetness and even color to your fried rice. After, finely mince 4 garlic cloves as such. Now the next ingredient is ginger. Ginger isn't always seen in fried rice, but I think for this recipe, the kick from the ginger will counter the saltiness you get from the bacon. It complements it well by creating this sort of complexity and lightens the whole dish. So peel the skin and proceed to finely chop. I'm using about a tablespoon of this. Next, just whisk 3 eggs and set aside for later. You want to start off with the bacon. We're going to cook this entire dish using one pan, so with the fat from the bacon, the fried rice will gain even extra delicious flavor. For this recipe, we're going to be using a cast iron pan. This is to not only have the bacon fat excess on the pan, but also to build up some good fond. You can scrape up this fond with your fried rice when adding in the wet ingredients. Go ahead and dry off your bacon for any excess fats and chop it into fine pieces such as this. In a high temperature cast iron pan with the bacon fat, add in your garlic and ginger and cook them quickly to get rid of that raw flavor from both of them. Then add in your frozen peas followed by the rice. Incorporate the garlic, ginger, and peas in with the rice, then add in your wet ingredients. Start off with 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. Mix well to give the rice that nice brown color. Next, add a teaspoon of sesame oil followed by 2 tablespoons of mirin. The mirin will add a nice sweetness to the rice that will counter the saltiness from the soy sauce and the bacon. Mix well to incorporate all the sauces together, then add in your eggs. Now typically with fried rice, you scramble your eggs in a separate pan and add it in later. But for this recipe, I want to incorporate the egg in with the rice. Not only for the added flavor, but most importantly, texture. It will give the rice a nice fluffiness, yet add a little moisture. After the egg has been mixed in, add in your bacon. Then finally, add in your spring onions. Mix well, and then you're done. There you have it, bacon fried rice. Super simple. It's perfect for the weekday. And best of all, it's insanely delicious.